we're not going to talk about Game 2. People are talking about these NBA Finals in many different aspects. Who's winning the finals? If Curry and the Warriors win, is Curry top 10 all time? The two most toxic fan bases in the NBA have their squads in the finals. And so on and so forth. And a term that's been flying around during my journey through the wild, wild west that is social media and the internet in general, I see a phrase being linked to these NBA Finals. It's great to see two teams in the NBA Finals that are built and not bought. I feel that phrase is a bit skewed, and I'm going to tell you why. First off, as a C's fan myself, I could say the Celtics of the past did not want their finals team to look like this. Now, back in 2013, they made that Brooklyn Nets deal, and when they got, in return, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and the ability to get Kyrie Irving. Now, talking about Kyrie, the Celtics viewed Kyrie as their main attraction. They viewed Kyrie as being able to be that person to entice other star-level players into heading to Boston to pair up with Kyrie. The 2018-19 season, or really how I like to call it, the Celtics' season from hell, had the Celtics being one of, if not the best squad on paper from top to bottom, with their young guys and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and Terry Rozier, not to mention Marcus Smart, showing up down the stretch and in the playoffs the year before, and with Kyrie and Gordon Hayward coming back, and not to mention other guys like Marcus Morris and Al Horford who were still on the squad as well. Their championship expectations were at an all-time high. Obviously, it being titled the season from hell, they did not meet those expectations at all. Now, to say that the Celtics would not have given up Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to get someone who was on the market in a Kawhi Leonard or even Kevin Durant in a free agency for a sign and trade or anything like that these last 6 years or so, it's not entirely accurate. Just revisit teams like the 2008 Celtics or even more recently the 2020 Lakers, who sacrificed young guys and picks for attempts at buying a championship with win now moves, with the Lakers getting Anthony Davis and signing LeBron James and trading guys like Ingram and Kuzma and Lonzo Ball, especially with somebody like Danny Ainge who's calling the shots in both of those trades, in the Nets trade and then the Timberwolves trade and the Seattle Supersonics trade. Now, really, in my opinion, the Celtics pulled the trigger on a big-time trade if it meant that Kyrie was going to stay and whoever they brought in was going to stay as well, whether it was Kevin Durant or Kawhi or whoever else they would have traded for. In hindsight, I think the Celtics were better off prioritizing their young duo than being in a situation like Brooklyn or LA are in now. While the C's aren't in the same boat, I can't sit back and ignore the Celtics for not attempting to buy a championship per se. Even after seeing the likes of Kyrie leaving, the Celtics' vision now is prioritizing Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown as their top guys. And all in all, it's the right move. On the Warriors side, it's a different story. It's more of a tale between two paths to a championship. Drafting their core guys, we know, the greatest shooting backcourt in Curry and Klay Thompson, along with the team's heart and soul in linebacker Draymond Green. They won it all in 2015 with their homegrown guys, albeit against the injury-riddled Cleveland Cavaliers team. 2016 comes around and then they lose an historic 2016 Finals in 7. And that summer, KD joins up with Curry, Klay, and Draymond to piss off NBA fans everywhere. And they win 2 more championships. And KD is Finals MVP for both of those championships. Now, in my opinion, if KD does not go to Golden State, they lose the 2017 Finals. But that starts entering what-if territory. And either way, even if they had the championship formula, that being Golden State, to begin with, bringing in a generational player as reinforcements to a few more titles does not scream built from the ground up to me. Kevin Durant's impact is still being felt on Golden State, even it being 3 years since he's laced up for Golden State. With KD, he became D'Angelo Russell, and then D'Angelo Russell became Andrew Wiggins and a young up-and-comer in Jonathan Kuminga. Golden State is a team with a story of when buying a title goes right, even if they just had to pay for one player. Now, I said before, built and not bought to describe this Boston Celtics and Golden State Warriors NBA Finals was skewed, with the Boston having opportunities with moves to be the next super team in the NBA, to now prioritizing their young guns, whether it was by their own choice initially or not. If you ask me, the change of personnel and the overall vision of the Celtics team has worked out for the better. Regardless how the season ends, these guys have success years down the line. With Golden State, they cut the check, more or less cementing their winning legacy of the 2010s with an all-world acquisition, and they're still reaping the benefits well after that all-world acquisition took his talents to Brooklyn. Now, with that being said, series is tied 1-1 by the time I'm recording this, and I think it should be a fun series down the stretch. It would be a whole lot better if Mike Breen would actually be calling the games, but safety first. Now, with that being said, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I've been Jiarmani DePena from Vendetta Sports, and I will see you all next time.